Hey everyone, this is attorney Ahmad Yakzan from the American Dream Law Office. Uh, Happy Juneteenth. I hope everyone is having a relaxing holiday. And I wanted to go live today to speak about a couple of things that happened yesterday and the day before, and to discuss some of the executive orders that President Biden has put into effect in the last couple of weeks that actually restrict immigration and open it up like he did yesterday. So we're going to be speaking about a lot of things. And if you have any questions regarding anything, just leave them in the comments and I'll make sure that uh, we will respond to them next week. So here at the American Dream Law Office, we had a fantastic week. This a couple of days ago was our ninth anniversary of being in business, which I couldn't have done without having a great team with me and um, having everyone trust us with their cases. We've done more than 2,000 cases in 9 years, which is honestly unheard of when it comes to a small law firm like ours. We've done it because we give you the personalized uh, attention that you deserve, and I know how what it means to actually get your immigration paperwork done. I came to the United States when I was very young. I was 18 years old, came to high school, and 25 years later, I found myself helping people come to the United States, stay in the United States, defending people against removal proceedings. So anything that has to do with immigration, I absolutely love doing because I myself went through the immigration process just like everyone I represent. So I understand what it is that they're going through and what it is that they actually need to do and to stay with their family, to unite families, stay here in the United States, come from overseas and be with your family. Honestly, that is the main reason why I practice immigration law, because I absolutely love every second of practicing it. So here is to another 9 years. We're planning to have a big bash next year for our 10th anniversary, and we'll probably have invites for everyone coming out soon, probably in December or so. So President Biden actually did two things in the last couple of weeks that have both restricted and expanded immigration law. The first part of the thing that the policy change that he did was last week. Last week he entered an executive order that actually restricted people from crossing the border in an undocumented way, in an irregular way, when it comes to people crossing the border, when crossing the border to come to the United States and apply for asylum. So the executive order that he entered last week actually restricted the amount of immigrants that can cross the border every single day. The restriction is 2,500 people crossing every day. They're hoping that with that number, they actually curb people trying to come into the United States in an irregular entry. That's what we call crossing the border. So 2,500, there are a lot of exceptions which I would discuss in a little bit. But 2,500 people, if the Secretary of Homeland Security determines that crossing have gone down to 1,500 per day, that restriction of 2,500 will actually get lifted 14 days later. But if the Secretary of Homeland Security sees that crossings are going up again to above 2,500 a day, that restriction that it will have that will lift the restriction on the amount of people will actually be lifted, and it will go back to 2,500. There are a lot of people who are not included in the 2,500 crossings. Um, a couple of them include people who are obviously United States citizens. You can't restrict them from coming to the United States. Permanent residents are not included. Unaccompanied minors are not included. People who have a visa to the United States are not included, and victims of human trafficking are not included. So you're in one of those categories, they're going to let you in. You don't actually fall under the 2,500 restriction, the daily restriction that they have. So that the President Biden has gotten a lot of flack because of that restriction. I honestly don't have anything to say regarding that. It goes to uh, President Biden's inherent authority to actually be able to do immigration law. So that's in his executive in his executive capacity. The problem that I have though is the fact that a lot of people are who really deserve to be here in the United States um, will not be actually be able to come to the United States. So we're going to have a backlog again, and hopefully that part of the restriction will go away soon. It is by executive order, so if the numbers really decrease, the president can actually lift the executive order. It doesn't have to take an act of Congress to actually lift it. So that's the good part about it. Um, the other thing that happened yesterday on Tuesday. It was the 12th anniversary of the DACA program being implemented by President Biden in 2012. And when the DACA program was actually initially instituted, I was in Nashville for the AILA National Conference, and we heard that we had a lot of good things to say about the program. Unfortunately, the program has been hit with a lot of lawsuits. It went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court upheld it. Then we do have the the problem with the lawsuit that's has the injunction currently in place that doesn't allow the new applicants to actually get into the DACA system. So there is a huge issue when it comes to DACA recipients. Also, DACA recipients won't be able to get permanent residence. So one of the things that the President Biden's executive order from yesterday did is that it's going to allow some people to uh, some of the DACA recipients to be able to be in the United States and either get work visas, or if they're married to U.S. citizen, if they've been here for 10 years, they will be able to apply for citizenship and a work permit, and for permanent residence and a work permit. If they're here in the United States, they've been here for more than 10 years, and they are married to a U.S. citizen, they will be able to do it here. Now, the second part, and which is tangentially related to what I just spoke about, the second part um, of the executive order allows people to cure their irregular entry and undocumented entry if they came here to the United States more than 10 years ago and they're married to a United States citizen, and they made an irregular entry crossing the border or anything like that, that will allow them to cure that entry by staying here in the United States. And I will explain how that happens. Right now, under the law, if you didn't make a legal entry into the United States, you're not allowed to apply for permanent residence. You have to leave the country and come back. We do have a system that was instituted by President Obama that said, okay, we're going to allow you to submit an application for permanent residence, but the problem is going to be is that you're going to have to get a waiver. You have to leave the country and come back, and that is a lot. This thing that is not really desirable for a lot of my clients that I speak to about this. The issue that we have is that you have to leave the country and you're not guaranteed to come back into the country. And I've heard a lot of stories about people that were not allowed to come back into the United States after they left, even though they got the 601 waiver here. The other problem that we have is that it's right now taking 4 years for for that process to take place, and it's going to be absolutely gut wrenching. For 4 years, you're not going to be able to work. You're not going to be able to do anything. Um, and you're going to be in limbo until that 601A waiver gets approved. And that's one of the criticisms that the executive order is getting from Republicans, is that we have a program right now that allows them to leave and come back. And honestly, it is not a perfect program. I would, if I were in that situation, I would more than rather submit my application here in the United States, because I have certain appeal rights and a lot of things that you're able to do here in the United States. So what the president did yesterday in the executive order is expand a program called Parole in Place. Now, Parole in Place has been around for about 10 years or so. Right now, we use it to help people who are married to members of the armed forces cure their irregular entry if they came in an undocumented entry a while ago. So they come here, they apply for parole in place, and if they are paroled in place here in the United States, that cures the undocumented entry, and they will be able to apply for a green card here in the United States. And I've done that for a lot of clients of mine. We've done that. That was actually able to cure their illegal entry. The problem, the expansion is going to help people who are here, who came in, who crossed the border, and have been here in the United States. They're married to U.S. citizens, and they've been here for at least 10 years. That will actually allow them to go to apply for that parole in place program and cure that undocumented entry here in the United States, which is absolutely fantastic. And it doesn't require a change in the law because the executive authority to regulate immigration law allows the president to do that, just like President Obama did it for spouses of people who are married to members of the armed forces. So it doesn't require a change in immigration law, and it's honestly a system that is already being used. So you don't have to worry. The president doesn't have to worry about going to Congress to actually get it approved. Now, the problem with the program is that we have about 16 million undocumented immigrants in the United States. The problem is going to be is that it's going to only help um, a very small part of the 16 million people that actually are here in the United States right now. The estimates is about 500,000. I think the 500,000 number is a little low, but it's going to help a lot of people actually get this done without having to leave the country and risking not returning to their loved ones. Now, the last part of the program is also going to help children of people who came in an irregular way across the border, and those children, whose parents are married to a U.S. citizen. So the children, and the estimate over there is about 50,000 children will be helped with this. The children will be able to do it without them and their parents having to leave the country. So that would give also a path to stepchildren of U.S. citizens who came in an irregular way to the United States to be able to apply for that same program. Now, I applaud what the president is doing. The criticism is coming from the right is that this is an election year thing. He's trying to boost his approval numbers with Hispanics before the elections. We've heard that when the DACA program was actually established, the criticism from the right that we're getting is that it's not comprehensive immigration reform, which we really need. It doesn't help. It doesn't help everyone, which the left is trying to help everyone. And honestly, right now, with the way that Congress is constituted, I don't think that there will be a law that is going to be passed. There's a couple of bills that actually allow for comprehensive immigration reform that have been floated. One of them is the Dignity Act, which you pay your back taxes and you pay a penalty and you get a temporary residence card for about 3 years, and then you apply for permanent residence afterwards. I like that idea, but again, um, as the Congress is constituted right now, I highly doubt that that's actually going to happen. So the president had to do this. I would have liked it to have happened a long time ago. Before, so um, to avoid the criticism that it's being done because it's an election year. I would have liked it to have happened in the beginning of President Biden's uh, term, and it would have helped thousands and thousands of people in the last 4 years. Unfortunately, I understand what the president, why the president actually waited until now to do it, and it makes sense. The problem is going to be that, just as I said, there wasn't an appetite in Congress to actually get it done. So, um, on a last note, we had as I said, it was our anniversary. It was a great week. We were very busy taking a lot of calls and getting scheduled for a lot of consultations. You can actually go on my website, americandreamlawoffice.com, and schedule a 15-minute free consultation with one of my staff members if that's something that you want to do. Now, the thing that I want to tell you is that we want a huge case uh, for a member of LGBTQ community in a Slovenian country who came here and applied for asylum after coming here because of her sexual orientation, and we got a grant maybe a couple of weeks after the interview in Tampa. So we've been getting a lot of asylum interviews in Tampa, and we've been getting them granted very easily. So if you have an asylum case that's pending and you don't have an attorney, please hire an attorney to go with you to the interview. We'll be able to help you and make your case stronger and put everything that you need in there to make sure that you get a positive result from your asylum case. No, again, go to my website, americandreamlawoffice.com, schedule a consultation if you want to. Call us 24/7 to schedule one. We also have the lines open 24/7. Call us, email us. We're here to help. This is great news what President Biden did yesterday. If you think that you qualify for the program, please don't hire someone who's not an attorney. Go to an attorney, make sure that you qualify for you to get relief under the new program. Again, the phone number is on the bottom of the screen, americandreamlawoffice.com, and I look forward to speaking to you next week. Take care.